Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got a really exciting unboxing to share with you guys. I have not taken a look at this knife for years. I am so excited to have one back here, and honestly, my goal is to re-review this one. It has been, I think the last time that I had a video on this knife may have been 5 years ago. So very exciting, and this is a newer, variation. It's different blade shape. I think it's a blade shape they have not done yet. So very cool. Thank you so much to USA Made Blade for supplying this knife for review. I will link USA Made Blade down in the description. They are awesome. Scott is an awesome guy. I've known him for years. Make sure that you check them out and add them to your rotation of retailers that you go and look at when you're searching for your next knife. As their name would suggest, they do USA only stuff. I think exclusively USA made stuff, which is really cool. So thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. So what do we have here? Let's open it up. Here it is. I was tempted to open this before, before it got here. But let's take a look at the card here. We got the tri-way, all of that stuff, same stuff as usual. And the knife itself. I remember when this was like a brand new model from Hinderer Knives. This is the Project X. Very cool textured Loctite. I know a lot of you guys say, oh, I wish it was the same, either full titanium or G10 with titanium underneath on both sides. It doesn't bother me that much, but I do love that on the Project X, at least as an option, that it is textured. This is in MagnaCut. I've heard many reports that your Hinderer knives their target HRC for MagnaCut is something like 61 to 63, which I find to be acceptable. Obviously 62 up to 64 I think is like absolutely optimized, but 61 to 63 I think is just fine. For a long time, the only steel that I really wanted from Hinderer was S45VN, because I thought that their range was really good there and not so much in other places. But since they have pushed up, or at least from what I understand, bumped up their MagnaCut, I think MagnaCut is definitely a steel that makes a lot of sense on a Hinderer knife. We have some different hardware here, and there's a little trick with this guy we'll talk about here in a second. Let's go ahead and flip it. Look at that, the Sheepsfoot. Actually, this isn't quite, so I wasn't sure what to expect. If Scott's watching this video, I wasn't sure what to expect, because as far as the standard Hinderer XM18 goes, I don't love the Sheepsfoot on that. But this is a little bit different, and it actually looks really cool. This is planned to be a user for me. So very cool. The detent on this is awesome. The Project X is kind of in between the size of the XM18 3.5 inch and the XM24. So it's a big knife, but it doesn't feel as huge as the XM24. Another thing that I really like about the Project X, that hook-shaped flipper tab has been significantly reduced in hook shapiness. It is nowhere near as uncomfortable to deploy as like an XM24 or an XM18. It's actually very comfortable to both push button and light switch. I love the detent on this. It's great. So the cool thing about the Project X is that the backspacer is also the tool. And if I remember correctly, can I just like pull it out? I feel like I can, but I want to be careful about that. I feel like the way that you do this is you push. Yeah. So there's a spring in it. You push backwards, and then you pull this out. A lot of people ask, there's the spring right there. People ask like, oh, wouldn't that come out of there super easily? No. In fact, I have a friend who, his only EDC knife, and it's been this way since the Project X came out. I showed him the Project X, and I said, these are really cool. He has been EDCing this knife for years, and he still has his tool in the backspacer there. So, push it in, and then this piece right there, that little hook shape, that hooks around this little slot right, or the little bar right there. And short of, intentionally trying to remove that backspacer, it's not going to come out of there. I would say even hard drops it's not going to. But what's cool about this is that the tip of this is the tool for this screw back here, And then it's not the tool, it's not the one for that guy, but it is also for the pivot. What's the one for this? Or is this even a screw? Is it right here? That's what it is. It's on this side. I was going to say, this side doesn't appear to actually be an adjustment head. So you have this side, and then you have this screw, and you have this one here. This is cool because and I think even is the tip of it for the, yeah. The little itty bitty piece up here is actually the adjustment head for the pocket clip screws, which is really cool. Does this also work in the LBS? No. So, but you'll never need to remove that. So this is a knife that has it's a tool that is attached to the knife, and I think you probably don't want to put this in. Can you? Oh yeah, it's not touching. See the space right there? Let's see if we can zoom in. So you can put the tool in regardless of whether the blade is in the closed position or the open position because it doesn't touch. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, but anyways, the cool thing about this knife is obviously that you can adjust the knife on the fly, or you can disassemble the knife while you are, out in the field or wherever, right? If you need to adjust or tighten a screw, or you need to clean the knife out or whatever, then you can do that, which is really neat. In fact, the whole tool being attached to the knife thing has rarely been done well. In my opinion, this is done pretty well. It makes the Project X a cool knife. These are expensive. I think people look them up for the first time. A lot of people, from this video, you'd be like, Hinderer knives, I've never heard of that. And you're going to look up the price and freak out. Hinderer is not Kershaw, Spyderco, Benchmade. These are not mass production items. The Hinderer shop has grown tremendously since, like the 2010s and before. But these are still in-house USA made. See, whenever I say small batch, people want me to define it. When I say that, I mean not mass produced, and however many you personally would say is small batch, batch of 10, batch of 20, batch of 50, batch of 100, right? It's nowhere near, even you get up to 100, it's absolutely nowhere near the production capacity of companies like Kershaw and Benchmade. Those are mass production USA items. They are not made with the same materials. They don't have nearly the same number of processes in them. Even if you can get a steel like MagnaCut from a company like Kershaw, a knife that costs $165, the processes involved with creating that knife are nowhere near as expensive the processes are for creating a Hinderer knife, and that is factually true. So yes, these are expensive, and in my opinion, they probably shouldn't have been a whole lot more than the XM18, but it's still, it is what it is, and it's less expensive than the XM24. The overall size of this knife comes in at 8.75, and that's not even 8.75. It's like 8.65 inches. Blade length is about 3.7, and your cutting edge is 3 1/4. Nice deep choil there, and your contact point, the stop pin, I think, yeah, it's a stop bar that's internal. So if you're worried about, stop contact being right here, behind the edge, plunge grind or whatever, no. They actually do this all internal. Actually, this is a pretty, I know it came out a while ago, but it's, as far as like modern standards for a lot of people who watch my channel and other channels that are like mine, this kind of checks a lot of boxes. What people may not love about this as much is that it's still got a pretty thick blade stock. But, and you're not gonna have like incredible laser beam sliciness at the edge, but they can still very easily, in fact, I'm going to be honest with you, that sliced quite a bit better than I thought it was going to. No complaints there. Pretty cool. Hinderer knows how to do a frame lock. We still have the lock bar insert and all of that. Looks like the lockup percentage is something like 35 or so percent. Let's look back here. Yeah, actually probably maybe 30%, something like that. Blade stock thickness on these, I believe, is still 165 thousandths, making them the same as your standard XM18. Yes, 163 thousandths there. Okay. Very cool. I'm actually really happy to finally have one of these in my collection. They were gone for a really long time. And then they came back a little bit, and then they were, it's kind of like spotty availability. But the Sheepsfoot version of this knife is available at USA Made Blade, so you guys can check it out if you want to. I'm very excited to have this go into my pocket. This is going to be one of my larger EDC knives. Obviously, I buy a lot of large and XL knives. I just don't always carry them. But as far as an EDC knife goes, this is going to be on the larger side. Weight on this guy comes in at 6.5 ounces, which is traditionally at the absolute top end of what I would normally carry. And where do I get that weight? The maximum weight of any of my XM18s that I have previously EDC'd was about 6.5 ounces, a full tie, non-milled scale. And I realized this is basically the absolute top end of it. Any heavier and it's just kind of for me, it's cumbersome. But this is the top end. I think for anybody, obviously not an office carry. You can carry whatever you want, but more heavy duty work pants with a belt, something like that, this probably would feel completely and totally comfortable. But very cool. Excited to see how often I need the tool, right? If I feel like I need to adjust the pivot or something like that. Probably not very much. Probably something I'm just going to, get it set the way that I like it initially, and then that'll be it. So, anyways, very cool. I will re-review this knife because it's been way, way too long. I haven't even talked about this in at least 4 or 5 years. So thanks again to USA Made Blade. Make sure that you guys check them out. I'll have them linked in the description. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.